Hi everybody, Barbara and Steve here from Tech Toy Tinker and Retro Arena.
Today we're going to do a video to deep dive into Saturn and Dreamcast performance on the RG503, the RG353P and the RG353V using Retro Arena. I'm going to start with Dreamcast because I think that I probably have less games there. Now remember, if you want to change the emulator that's being used, you just press start, go to emulator settings and scroll down to it. So far from what I can tell, this gives the best performance here, the Flycast Rumble Core.
Namco. Welcome back to the stage of history. Versus Ivy. Battle 1, fight!
As I said, this performance will work the same across the 503, 353P and the 353V. Just to clarify, I'm doing this on the V model, and despite the fact that I'm absolutely in love with the OLED display that is on the 503, this Game Boy type clone but can play all these systems kind of holds a special place in my heart, and it also runs Android and has a touchscreen, and for that reason I prefer the V. Everyone knows the OG Game Boy is one of my favorite designs.
And now, here they are, the most daredevil group of daffy drivers to ever whirl their wheels in the wacky races, competing for the title of World's Wacky.
Time to spring into action!
Hey! And here's Rufus Roughcut and Sawtooth in the Buzz Wagon. Select your handling style. Select an individual track to race around. Now, here they are, the most daredevil group of daffy drivers to ever whirl their wheels in the wacky races, competing for the title of World's Wackiest Racer.
Get to it, Sawtooth! Get to it, Sawtooth! Get to it, Sawtooth!
Three, 2, 1, go! And away go the wacky racers on another round of the wacky race.
We made it, Todd!
Huh? Sweet sassafras!
I'm coming! Hey! Out of the way!
I really like that game. It's probably going to end up being a bit of a longer video, so I apologize in advance. I actually just realized I can't play Crazy Taxi. Every time I do, I get a copyright smack from the Offspring song.
Hurry up, Donald. Turn on the TV. It's almost time for Daisy's report.
And now please watch this intrepid live report from Daisy, our famous reporter.
It runs fine, but it honestly feels like a Looney Tunes version of Crash Bandicoot to me.
Am I insane? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm crazy. Simply because Let's go. At first everything looked the same, like nothing ever happened. I wondered if all of it had just been a bad dream. Boy, was I wrong.
Whoa! Oh no, not again. Damn it, it won't shut off.
Sobar, Gata, Los Gata,
Jenny! Jenny's out there somewhere.
Clearly something wrong with the textures in that game. Which is a shame, because it's a really good game. The Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness are some of my favorite horror movies from my childhood. And Friday the 13th. And Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hi, I'm Heugel Fleugel. Get off me, Heugel. Ta-da. Ta-da.
Let's see. What's a 6-letter word that means genius?
Heugel.
Oh, yeah, good. Now, what's a 7-letter word that means circles of sugary baked dough with chocolate chips in them? Cookies. Let's make cookies. If we're gonna make cookies, we need sugar. Pass me the sugar bowl, big brother. It's on the table. We need sugar.
I'm gonna say that runs fine. I happen to know this runs fine from previous testing, but it's also reasonably useless since it's a Sega Genesis emulator for the Dreamcast. It's reasonably useless because it's a Genesis emulator for Dreamcast, which, I mean, if you're going to run it on real hardware, absolutely makes sense. You can convert the CDI to an ISO, and then you can burn it to a disk. Actually, you can burn the CDI to a disk, but you can convert the CDI to an ISO and then run it from a serial to SD adapter at the back of your Genesis through Dreamshell as well. So if you own real hardware, then for sure this is cool to have, but on a emulation device, it's kind of useless, honestly. As you can see, it's exactly what it looks like I was playing Genesis on a Dreamcast. For those of you that haven't watched my videos from a few months back, I actually do some work on real hardware, such as the Dreamcast. I've got, like I made Megaduck games playable on Dreamcast, for example, and I got some ISOs on Dreamcast Talk with Scum VM set up to add games to and things like that, that are playable on an actual Dreamcast console versus just using an emulator.
For as long as I can remember, my family ran what we called a horror caravan. We hauled this house of horrors around from town to town, trying to give people a new thrill, a new nightmare. I kind of liked traveling, but all that gruesome gore got to me after a while. So, how'd I do?
That was great! I mean, you're the head of the Horror Research Club and...
President of the Student Council. It's a given. You win this speech contest for sure.
Well, that game seems to work alright. This game, personally, is a game that I love. I have for a very long time.
Jack around the radio!
Somewhere in Asia, there's a city that cannot be found on any map called Tokyo-to, but everyone just calls it Tokyo. The two hottest things in the streets of Tokyo-to are the punks wearing magnetically driven inline skates powered by newly developed Metrium batteries and Jet Set Radio, a pirate radio station manned by the DJ Professor K that plays nothing but non-stop hardcore music. Those street punks have been named Rudies.
Hey, you!
Honestly, that game is awesome. So is this, but the arcade is better for 3 Ultimate. Just my opinion.
Yoricom Developments Limited Entertainment Software Games. Electronic fun for everyone.
Scorpion. Choose your... Round 1. Fight! Scorpion wins.
There was no way I was losing on a video. No, no, no. I need to make sure I'm online for this before I show you guys this Quake 3 stuff, because there's some really cool stuff going on here. I gotta watch what I say in my video, otherwise I can't tell YouTube I don't swear. Just look for your IP, it's usually 10.00. See mine 10.00.187, so yes, I am online. I see my local network and public IP. This is one of the few games that has the modem connection stuff built into it. Now, I'm not going to actually jump into a game because I really don't want to ruin someone's game or show up and mess things up. However, in 2022, you can play, like, I think it was 2000, 2001 maybe? No, probably 2000 for Quake. There's still, what was it, 7 or 8 servers going on, even in 2022, that you can play online. And Flycast will allow you to play with people as if you were on a console. And you can do that from these handhelds as well, because they have 5G and they're fast enough to... Even, I mean, 2.4 would actually work for Dreamcast too, but because they're online enabled and fast enough to run Flycast properly, you can play online.
Namco. Welcome back to the stage of history. Maxi versus Sophitia. Battle 1, fight!
I rest my case. Alright, so we're done with Dreamcast. Now, before we start with Saturn, you remember how I told you guys you can press start and go to emulator settings here? For Saturn, there's a bit of a, I don't want to call it a snag, but a lot of games work fine using RetroArch. However, there's a few that don't, where you're forced to use standalone Sega Saturn, which also works very well. However, I've found that on the standalone Sega Saturn, the full motion video is kind of messed up. It kind of flickers a bit, whereas it doesn't do that with the LibRetro core. So I prefer to use the core where possible. There's not that many games that don't work, but Batman Forever is one that doesn't, for example. So we're going to start off here using the core, and I'm going to go back to the A sections. So we're going to do Alone in the Dark first. If a game doesn't work, I'll just go switch to standalone and show you what I mean. So basically right here. That one seems to work okay. Even though Saturn is ultimately my favorite system because of the arcade games and such, it's hard to imagine a time when that was like the best graphics available. I mean, not really because I was alive, but in general, thinking back from then till now, things have changed a whole lot. Now this game's going to end up not working and potentially freezing my 353V, but I'm well aware of it going into it, so... Well, see there, it kicked me back out. So basically, if a game does that to you, you just want to switch to standalone, and there's a reasonable chance that it will work. I'll kind of just show you guys what I mean. It's easier to just give you a visual representation. With standalone full motion video flickers, but the game is generally fine. So as you can see there, worked perfectly fine on standalone, didn't work with LibRetro. That doesn't happen very often, but it does happen.
キャッチ・ザ・ハート。ファイト。
You get the idea. Works fine. Worth a shot. Honestly, it's easier just to use the standalone if you can tolerate or ignore the screen flickering. If you can't, then you want to use the Retro Arch 32 Yava-san Shiro core where possible, which is kind of where I'm at. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to keep switching back and forth, but when I was growing up, Corpse Killer was a really good game. I had it on Sega CD first, or I should say my Uncle Glenn did. I used to go to his house and play it all the time, along with a board game called Nightmare. Had a VHS tape you'd put in, you had to follow along with the VHS tape as you played the board game. Well, that one works fine. I exited the game too quick, but those broken textures are not cool. Even though I don't want to keep jumping back and forth, I'm going to do it on standalone for that one. I know a lot of people like Daytona USA.
Select a beginners. Please choose manual or automatic transmission. Gentlemen, start your engine.
ran fine, obviously. I'm gonna try not to run every single game, just a good chunk. But I don't want to be here for the next hour and a half, and I'm sure you don't either.
Whoa! Whoa! Killer! Whoa! Tender. Whoa! Tasty! Whoa!
Where am I? What is this place?
He's alive. Alive! I have created life. There. That will make you feel better. A toast. In celebration. I have made a man.
It's a weird game, but it's not bad at all.
It all started so simply.
It all started so simply. I had just finished my usual morning routine of nude funkercise, fired up the Barca-Lounger, grabbed a quick bite to eat, and prepared to watch some serious tube. Little did I know, my snack was sent by Red.
Lock and load, little lizard.
Yeah, this place has all the warmth of a Dick Clark special.
So as you can see, that particular game worked better with the Lib Retro core. Bomberman's the same way. We're just going to pretend that last one didn't happen. We're hitting an hour now, so I'm going to try not to keep you guys too much longer. I think you have a good general idea of how it works, both the Dreamcast and Saturn. Keep in mind this performance should be across the 503, 353P, and 353V. So it really comes down to what do you want out of your handheld? What kind of design do you want, or case? What do you want it to look like? I've actually played that game before, so I'm pretty sure this has to be a bad dump or file. You gotta be careful what dump of a game you have as well. If you dump it yourself, you gotta be careful how you do it, and you should dump it yourself. Alright, well I think you all get a good idea of how Saturn and Dreamcast is going to perform on the RG503, 353P and 353V. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.